Good one.
This is going to be a good one. Yeah. This is all based on what you guys asked for last week. And we had a great
Yeah.
suggestion. And so we're happy to share some of our tips and tricks with you guys on. Clayton, why don't you introduce today's topic?
Yeah. So we're going to talk about the six tactical hacks about health. So a while back, I did a presentation on, the six facets of health that we feel are important to stay well, to recover well, and not looking at health just as a one-dimensional thing, but looking at health as I don't know, a wheel that everything kind of chimes in. And there's many things that go into determining how good of a quality of life and the longevity you're going to have. And we're going to touch on those tonight in terms of what we feel are the most important things, and then give you a little nugget or two on each of those things. Cool. So let's start. Number one, we're going to talk about nutrition. So the number one, not in particular order, but the first one we're going to talk about in terms of a tactical hack is nutrition. So I'm going to start off. Maybe I'm going to start off by talking about intermittent fasting, Ben, and then
Yeah.
you can kind of chime in after that. One of the things that I've been doing over the last 10 years is called block eating or intermittent fasting. So one of the things that we do is when we take on carbohydrates, which a lot of us do, and especially during the holidays, um, our body takes a while to digest glucose, give or take 10, 11, 12 hours. The problem is most of us don't go longer than that before eating more carbs. So what happens, our body never runs out of carbohydrates that it can use for fuel. So what ends up happening when you do intermittent fasting, you're going to fast for 14, 16, some people go 17 hours. So you're exhausting your carbohydrates. There's no more carbohydrates left, and all you have left is fat. So now your body's going to utilize the fat in order to get you energy. Now, some of you might be thinking, 17 hours, how the heck do you do that? Well, utilize your sleep time. So what happens, you make your last meal 6 o'clock. You go from 6 to 6, that's 12 hours. You add another 4 hours. You're what, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 o'clock, you eat breakfast. So how many of you could push breakfast until 10 o'clock? That is what's called intermittent fasting. So now your eating window is from 10 in the morning till 6 at night. So that's intermittent fasting. And now you're utilizing fat for fuel. And I've had many people lose those 10, 12, 15 pounds very quickly by doing something that's insanely effective. Intermittent fasting, a good nugget for you guys. I've been doing it for 10 years.
That's huge. That's a great point, Clayton. Intermittent fasting is something that a lot of people are doing now because it's not necessarily a diet. We're not telling you to eat different foods or, eliminate anything from your diet. We're just saying eat it in certain blocks. And so it's a great way to burn fat and get more energy from your food. I just wanted to add a little tidbit before we move on to our next nugget here. Guys, you don't need coffee, okay? You've built yourself up to think that you need coffee to function, but that's just not true. Any caffeine after 4 p.m. is shown to disrupt your normal sleep patterns, and it delays the natural release of melatonin, and which again triggers an acute stress response, increased anxiety, and increased stress reaction. Which only leads to more increased stress and tight muscles in an overstimulated nervous system. Another tidbit about nutrition.
It's also a diuretic. So
yes,
in terms of dehydration, that's key. Sorry.
Yeah, for sure. And only 10% of us are actually like nutritionally and environmentally balanced, right? Diet plays such a huge role in the brain with behavior and mood issues. It's like food injustice. Today's diet has a high level of omega-6 and very low levels of omega-3s, which actually leads to, in some people's case, to depression. So they did a study and it was all about, how can diet affect your mood? So if you take people in prison and change their diets to healthier foods, 54%, like they saw a 54% reduction in crime and violent behaviors in the prison. And if they added a vitamin to that dietary change, they saw a reduction of 80%. And so people's stress levels were reduced just by changing their diet. So there's a lot more to just, losing weight or, adopting healthier attitudes. It really has an impact on your mood.
That's a pretty cool study. Um, okay, so that's nutrition. Anything else you want to add? One thing, you know what, I will mention this. We were out in Bridgewater on the weekend to get our meat, and it's grass fed 100%. They don't bring it in to feed it grain. And one of the reasons that I value that is because research has been shown that the cows that are grass fed 100% have 7 times more omega 3 than omega 6. The North American diet is now 30 to 1 omega 6
Omega
to omega
6.
3. And omega 6 increase inflammation in the body, your hemoglobin A1C. That's what creates the crud in your arteries. So increasing your omega 3, super important. And by the way, grass-fed meat, totally 100%. You're not going to die of a heart attack from eating grass-fed meat. When they're talking about red meat, you're talking about the grain-fed. So just wanted to add that and how important nutrition is and the choices you make. People say, is it really important to eat organic or grass-fed meat? And it's all those little choices that make a big difference. So tactical hack number 2. So that was nutrition. We're moving on to tactical hack number 2, and that is about exercise. So go ahead and talk about exercise, and I'll kind of chime in a little bit, Ben.
Yeah, so exercise, we talked about this last week in our stress topic, just the impacts that, exercising can have on decreasing stress levels. Also, vigorous exercise, which is 70% of your VO2 max or higher 3 times a week, is as well or better as an antidepressant, right? So if we
Cool.
talk about eliminating certain, medications from a long list of medications, maybe picking up a vigorous exercise or doing some moderate to vigorous intensity exercises could be beneficial for you in terms of your mood. We also saw a 47% less depression symptoms with 3 times a week for 12 weeks. So if you start committing to that 3 times a week for 12 weeks, you could see a huge improvement in your mood.
Yeah. Another thing that I always told people is that, you don't have to take an hour of your day, and people will do this crazy thing in January 1st, and they'll commit to a lifestyle that they haven't done the last 20 years and then horribly fail at what they're going to, say they're going to do on January 1st. Here's what you need to commit: 30 minutes a day. Guys, if you don't have 30 minutes a day to commit to exercise, you don't have a life and you don't value life, because 30 minutes a day of walking, that's all you do, 30 minutes a day, reduces your risk of heart disease by 50%, right? And these are conditions that we get to control that contribute to our healthcare costs and all those diabetes and stuff like that. So commit to 30 minutes a day. That's the golden nugget out of exercise. It doesn't have to be an hour of jumping jacks and crazy things are going to hurt your knees and you're calling the chiropractor the next day. So stress, I'll touch on stress. So this is tactical hack number 3. We've discussed nutrition, physical activity, and stress reduction. Here's what I'm recommending, guys. You need to spend every single day 10 minutes. How many? 10 minutes with yourself alone, away from these things, away from distraction, away from family, especially if they stress you out, or friends, or if people you don't want to be with. 10 minutes with yourself every single day. During that 10 minutes, maybe have a list of gratitude. Do something where you're feeding your brain some positivity. And if you're not doing it 10 minutes a day, you need to do it at least 45 minutes per week, once a week. If you're not managing your stress, it will own you. And one day you will become one of those statistics. People will say, he looked healthy, and I can't believe he died of a heart attack. Stress is the silent killer. You can't tell what people are going through, so you make sure that you manage it. Otherwise, it owns you. That was number 3, right?
Number 3. That was number 3. Tactical tip number 3, stress. Tactical point number 4, which I'd like to say is sleep, right? We're always talking about, I'm never getting enough sleep, or what's the proper amount of sleep to get? Well, here's what it is. So most people are sleep deprived anyway, and the quality of our sleep is actually quite poor. Most people are getting less than 7 hours of sleep per night, when the recommended amount is 8 hours per per night, right? So the key is to have good sleep hygiene. No screens at night. The blue light from your phone actually fixes your pineal gland and inhibits the release of natural melatonin. And that's the little gland up in your brain here, and it triggers the release of that melatonin, which everybody knows melatonin helps you sleep. So try reading a book before bed instead of looking at your phone. Also, get into a bedtime and nighttime routine. It's just as important as like your morning power hour to get yourself popped up. Try to go to sleep within the same hour each night to form your sleep patterns. Proper pillows, mattresses, like a medium to firm mattress is usually best. As well, make sure that you're washing and cleaning your sheets regularly. I know that I sleep better with clean sheets, and I'm sure that you guys at home are definitely saying, yeah, I have a great sleep either the first night after I wash my sheets or the second night after I wash my sheets. Like I said, the average Canadian gets,
Especially if they're
yeah,
tucked in, especially if they're tucked in
it's
properly, and the bed sheet is not out of the mattress, and I hate it. I
exactly,
hate it.
exactly.
Yeah.
So, guys, sleep very important. In maintaining those adjustments. And your body spends a lot of its time sleeping, and that's the time that it spends recovering from all the stresses throughout your day.
Yeah.
So that's my nugget.
Yeah, that was good. You know what I tell, when you go to bed, it's almost like if you're prepping for an activity, like a physical activity, you'd warm up. Going to bed, you have to kind of prime yourself and get ready for bed. So I always joke around, watching CSI Dartmouth, you know, probably not the best show for you to watch. It's it'll excite you, and you're gonna have those memories in your brain when you go to fall asleep. So probably not the best thing to watch. And again, one thing too, I want to say, your room should be very, very dark and cool. Okay, so definitely do that. Tactical hack number 5. We are talking about mental health meditation. So I want to talk to you guys. Many of you talk to me, patients talk to me about, Dr. Roach, what do you do to stay healthy? And so one of the things that I have done is purchase this app called Nucalm. So you guys want to write that down, Nucalm. So I'm going to show you what it looks like, just very quickly. So this is Nucalm. Okay. So it's got 4 different programs. And what it does, it utilizes binaural beats, which is basically beats that'll play in both ears. And with Nucalm, it's the only scientifically proven platform that changes the brain waves. So there's a program to fall asleep, there's a program to rejuvenate you. And it's unreal. Like, I've never been able to quiet my mind for meditation, and I've struggled, and I know I need to meditate, but it was a struggle for me and a frustration because I'd spend 15 minutes thinking, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up. And I never felt I got the benefit of meditating. This is the first time that, I've been able, and research says that within 20 minutes, you're meditating to the same degree that somebody who's meditated over 10 years. So this is used in pro sports. Athletes use it. So, maybe gift yourself, a gift for Christmas. It's called Nucalm, Nucalm. All a matter of, I do it a lot in the morning, and how you start your morning is how you finish your day, right? So I'm a firm believer that you need to set the tone in the morning. We'll talk about the morning hour of power, a little later on in other episodes, but I think the morning is very, very precious.
Absolutely. Morning routine and making sure that you're making the best of your binaural beats. Definitely something that I've looked into myself, and I can tell you guys, it is something that you'll benefit from. Just setting the tone, setting the piece and your environment. It's number one.
And FYI, you can download binaural beats. So Bineural, binaural beats, on YouTube. So you don't have to purchase Nucom, although their patterns are patented, and they're known to work. Lastly, but not, we need to get done here. So a healthy nervous system is tactical health tip number 6. One thing the nervous system does very well is it the only system in our entire body that allows you to adapt to your environment. There's many things in our environment right now that are bombarding us left, right, and center. And if your nervous system is not healthy, your body cannot adapt to that. Your body is able to adapt to like a tiger coming at you and you're running and your pupils dilate. And as long as the tiger goes away, it's okay. But if your body always feels like there's a tiger running after you, that's called a chronic stress pattern. And your nervous system is okay for a while. But one, you need to eliminate some of the environmental stress around you by using some of the tips that we've talked about tonight. And then you need to feed your nervous system. And there's no better way to do that than with chiropractic. Ben, closing thoughts on tonight's Hump Day Conversations.
Guys, you're always asking about, what are the ways that I can maintain my adjustments, keep my adjustments for longer periods of time. Everyone always asks us about exercise. Yeah, it's true. There are exercises that can help, but some of us aren't ready for those exercises. And you know who you are. You say, yeah, I tried exercises for this, and all I did was maybe get in a little bit more pain than I was in before. I wasn't ready for it. So here's what we do to help people who maybe aren't ready for exercises, right? These are different ways for you to promote that nervous system and get it more adaptable. And that's how you maintain your adjustments.
Yeah. And physical activity, exercise is just one component. As you saw tonight, there were 6. So let's review. Number 1, nutrition.
Number 1, nutrition. Number 2, exercise. Number 3, stress. Number 4, sleep. Number 5, meditation. And number 6, a healthy nervous system with your chiropractic adjustments.
So guys, share this episode. I'm sure someone you know would like to hear some of those little, nuggets. It's a Christmas gift. It's free. Share, hit the bottom button, and look us up on YouTube as well.
Thank you, Dr. Roach. I really appreciate you guys. Hey, listen, guys, like and share this Hump Day podcast, and we'll put you guys into a raffle for a draw, okay?
Yes. So you could win a posture brace. So we're going to just give that away. Everybody that shares this episode, we're going to put in a draw. We're going to pick it, and then you can come in the clinic and get fitted for a posture brace. All right. Love you and appreciate you. We'll see you next week. Take care, guys. What's up, guys? Listen, if you like this episode, you'll probably like the other ones. Chances are pretty good. So here's what you need to do. You need to like us and follow us on Facebook. Following means you get notified when these 2 guys are live. Next, family, friends. You need to share these episodes because you never know. You might help them because they need this information as well.
And guys, if you ever miss an episode, make sure you subscribe to us on YouTube. That way you can watch the episode over and over and over again.
Guys, we love you and appreciate you.
Take care.